Good morning, everyone. I'm Teresa Marsh, Sassy Stamping with Teresa.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Newbern, North Carolina, towards the east coast of the United States. I'm here to bring you some ideas on how to use some of the Autumn Expressions stamping and stamps and die cuts. But before we get to that, let's take a look real quick at some housekeeping business. I'm really, it's really important this month, that we take a look at the paper pumpkin options. This is the start of a new quarter for paper pumpkin, starting in October, and for the first month, for the month of October, if you're a new subscriber to Paper Pumpkin, you get a really special deal. Now, some of you might not know much about Paper Pumpkin. I love Paper Pumpkin because it's an all-inclusive kit. Anything that you need in order to make the projects that are promoted by the kit is in the kit. Everything you need. When you get your first Paper Pumpkin month, once you subscribe, you can do it by the month or 6 months or 3 months or 12 months, whatever you want. But when you get your first monthly subscription, they'll send you a small, acrylic block so that you've got something to use to put your stamps on. And this October one is Nests of Christmas. Now this coordinates with our Nests of Winter Sweet collection. But if you are a new subscriber and you order in October, you sign up in October, you get 40% off. This is an awesome, awesome deal. It is so cool to be able to get such a good deal. Um, so you get 40% off of the month of October for a new subscriber. So if you want to subscribe, this is the month to do it. Like I said, I love Paper Pumpkin. We have a gathering for crafting once a month among members of my church and whatnot. And I love being able to just grab a Paper Pumpkin box and take it with me and make some cards while I'm there. Okay, so today we're going to be working with the Splendid Autumn Suite. Now we're not going to use the whole everything in the suite. What we're going to do is make a very simple designed card, but with some high impact. I love the papers in this kit, but look at this. Look at these. A little bit of glare there. Look at these examples that they give us on ways to use the things in the kit. I love it. It's really, really nice. Today, we're going to do something quick and simple because, number one, I'm early. Number two, because I have an appointment that I have to make. So I don't get to dilly-dally today. I have to go ahead and get it done. So the Splendid Autumn Suite collection comes with a fantastic group of papers. Let me show you the papers that are in it. These are 6x6, and they're just absolutely beautiful. Both what people call the A side and the B side. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? With that beautiful green. For the most part, the B sides are this sort of wash or dry brush look. Look at the vibrancy of those colors. Isn't that gorgeous? With the dark green. Okay. This one is more subtle, but I just love the colors and the scenery in these. This is going down that tunnel of trees. Isn't that gorgeous? It's beautiful. I just love it. I just love it. Okay. This side looks a little more brownish, a little more toned down than it looks on the camera here, at least to me. Look at that sky. Isn't that beautiful? And then this dry brush look. Do you like a little bit of of fresh freesia or Highland heather? Highland heather is what you see here. Isn't that pretty? And surprise, it's Highland heather brush in the back. Look at the juxtaposition of those fall colors and that clear blue sky. That is so, so pretty. And the darker green. Oh, this is nice too. This is much more focused on the beauty of that sky, isn't it? I just can't get over how pretty these papers are. Oh, look at that. I think that's azure blue, azure afternoon. So nice. Bright, cheerful, and good old wild wheat on the back. Yeah. This is the piece we're going to use today. We're going to snip a piece out from here and go more for the golds and whatnot than the darker colors. But this is great. Isn't that a great representation of fall colors? Isn't that great? Gorgeous. Nice and bright on that side. Oh, I wish I could paint like this. Maybe I should try painting too. But fortunately, I don't have to be that artistic because the concept artists at Stampin' Up! Are. So I can take what they create and go flying with that. Ooh, look at this. That is just so unusual. I love that. And how bright and pretty on the back. That's nice. That's an example of all the colors, all the pages you get in this paper pack, and there are 48, 48 pieces, and you've got 12 different designs. So that is a lot to be able to get out of one pack of paper. Okay, now our stamp set, what we're going to use today, we're going to use The Change Can Be Beautiful, and may the beauty of this season fill your heart with joy. The dies, oops, I just dropped something. That's not unusual. I just dropped a lot. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. The dies include this really interesting frame die. And today, rather than actually using it as a frame, we're going to cut some of the, I've cut out one of these in one color and one in another color. And I'm going to layer them. And I'll show you how I've done this. We're just going to use the inside pieces. But the frame itself, when you do it in, for instance, gold or something more bronzy looking, it is absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And it's got this piece that's a hanger to go right there, so that when you fold this over, you could have a double-sided frame. And you can pop that out of some metallic paper as well and get some really, really pretty options going on. All right. Now today's card, like I said, we're going to be using a particular, we're going to be creating a card that's on a basic beige background. And we're going to accent everything with pumpkin pie. Now I'll be honest, I started designing this card in order to be part of a blog hop that wanted to focus in on pumpkins, everything pumpkin. And I didn't read the instructions well enough. So I missed my timing on it, but I liked the card so much, I still wanted to share it with you ladies and gents. So anyway, there's your basic beige, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. All right. Then we took our paper pumpkin cardstock and created our first layer. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. And our next layer, we cut from that piece of designer series paper, and it's going to go like that. Now that's the basic front of the card. Okay. Can't get much simpler than that. But look at the impact. And wait till we get to the sentiment. So let's go ahead and do that while we're flowing free. And I think what I'm going to do here is use glue. Now the reason I want to use the liquid glue is because it's forgiving. And I don't know about you, but I can be very perfectionistic in how I put things together. And if it's not even around, I can get real upset. So when I put it on the glue, I can fiddle with it just a little bit until I'm super pleased with how centered it is. And since that's what we're doing, we're going to do that again on our card front. And we're going to go ahead and make this a flat card because we want all the impact to come from the sentiment label that we're going to put on here. I like laying it out flat so none of the bulk of the fold will get me off track. There we go. There's the front of our card. Can't get much simpler than that. Now what I did is I took that frame and I die cut it out of basic beige and out of the pumpkin pie. Now, one of the things that might not be in your face evident is that these two pieces are not going to be quite the same size. So I've taken the easy layering layout. I've cut one out of the beige, one out of the pumpkin pie. Okay, and this is the actual frame part that folds like this, with the little hanger going across under here and hanging up there. It works out really nicely. And what I'm going to do, instead of using the frame and putting something in the frame, I'm going to take the larger piece of pumpkin pie and the smaller piece of basic beige and layer them. Now, I've been playing around with different ways to use this. So that's one way I can make a label. But I might want to make another label, and I've got this big piece of basic beige. You know what though? If I layer it over the top of this end of the frame, if I wanted to make just a flat instead of a frame, this bigger piece layers over this edge, this side, and of course I'd cut off the edges, the tabs. Let's see if it'll work on this one. No, it'll fit inside that. So if I wanted to make it super flat instead of layered, it fits inside that side. But it does a great job fitting on top of this side. So I could still use this and do it this way. Put it inside, then make that fold. And of course, that scoring is part of the die, so it's easy to fold there. and I could create a frame like that. Okay, so I'm going to use those two pieces. Like I said, we're going to use the Change Can Be Beautiful, pumpkin pie. You do know that when you get your inks, there's, let me see if I look. No, I took the label off. There's a big label on the back that you can um, pull to put the name on the edge. And I take the one that's just plain color and put it in here to help me know what color I've got. Because when you got ink open, that does not look nearly as bright as this right here. So it helps me keep track of what particular ink I'm looking at. Change can be beautiful. Now, I did notice that when I made a sample of this one, I kind of did it cocked up. But you know what? One of the cool things about this particular stamp is that if you put it straight, or if you kind of give it the flow of the font is so cool that it just kind of looks like it could go uphill anyway. So if it ends up a little bit uphill, I'm going to be fine with that. But I'm going to pay close attention this time to see if I can't get it. There. Was my head in the way? I hope not. Anyway, change can be beautiful. Cross our fingers. Oh, I think I got it straight. I think I got it straight. Okay, awesome. Once again, to facilitate being able to adjust placement if it becomes necessary, we're going to use glue on the back of this to attach it to its background piece. There's a great guiding level because it's got this other piece, the back piece, that's got stitch mark on it too. And it's pretty much a guide for where you're going to put this basic beige. There we go. And then look, that's going to be so gorgeous on there. We're going to put it on with some dimensionals. I'm telling you, Stampin' Dimensionals are one of your best friends. They add so much to the front of a card when you can put some dimension there. I'm going to drop these over here where it's easy for me to swipe them off my desk into a trash can. But I still not going to prevent me from finding dimensional magnets all over the house, right? And we're going to center this up here. Look at the impact that makes. That is so beautiful. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some bling. Now, I took the Rhinestone Basic Tools and I took my alcohol markers and I took my dark paper pumpkin alcohol marker and I colored some rhinestones to go on this. So we're going to put one here. I'm going to put the big one there. We're going to put the little one. I've got 3 sizes of these, so I'm going to put the little one over here. But then I'm going to put the medium one up here. And there we have it. Change can be beautiful. And look at that sparkle that goes on there. You don't want it too sparkly because you want the color to be the high impact portion on that. Now, with a card like this, with using the basic beige as your card base, that is light enough that you can quite easily stamp your sentiment right on the card base. If you prefer, you can put a white layer in here. I have to look at the actual straightness of the stamp itself because I got the label on it just a little bit off. There we go. All right. It's straight. I can't I am doing so well today on getting things straight. I love I love making cards. I love how different it can be and how much fun we can have with it. Now the back of this paper is this color. So I'm not sure I would use this on the back on the inside, but I do know that there's options within this pack that would give you a nice skinny stripe here or a little skinny piece here to add more color to the inside, and that would be something to look at as well. Now, something else is that we have, I don't have on a, on a block. Sometimes my sometimes my stamp sticks so well. Another thing we can add a bit of color inside is to just take just a bit of use this piece of paper as a to stamp off. See how that does. All right. And because I don't want it across the whole page, across both pieces, I'll just line this paper up here to block it. And I have a leaf popping its head in there, right? And perhaps we'll have another leaf. Stamp it off. And then stamp it here, popping its head in there. So that makes it much less plain piece of cake, quick and easy. And if you want to get super duper, you know, focused in on the pumpkin pie, you can sign it with your pumpkin pie Stampin' Right marker. There you go. May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. All right, ladies and gents, I hope you have enjoyed this particular card. I wanted to make it quick and simple because sometimes quick and simple is what we need, but we don't want it to look too simple. Because of the font, because of the shape of the sentiment piece, this has really got some power to the front, if you will. All right. Next week, I'm not sure what we're going to be working on. If you want to drop me a note, okay, let's see here. Yeah, if you want to drop me a note and tell me what you'd like to see, then just drop a note to Teresa at sassystampingwiththeresa.com. I'll be glad to consider. I'll be glad to consider what we might do next week. Got something you want me to show, or a particular stamp set or suite that you want to see worked with, I'll be glad to do that. I had hoped because I got a head start this week that I would have this on the blog already. It's not. You guys, you need to pray for me. Keeping up with putting a blog post for each of my lives is not happening the way I really want it to happen right now. So if you'll pray for me on that, then I'll pray for you for whatever prayer needs you sent to me. Okay? I really will. It's one of the things I do. I love so let me know. Teresa is Stamping with Teresa.com. If there's anything I can do for you in prayer, or if you need a mini catalog and you're not working with a demonstrator already, I'll be able to send you a mini catalog. If you're curious about any of the measurements or details, if I haven't gotten it on to the blog yet, then just drop me a note and I will do my best to send it to you. If I do have it on the blog, you'll find that at sassystampingwiththeresa.com. Don't forget, it's a brand new month, so check the online store. What we're going to find with this brand new month is we have 2 new kits in the online exclusive. No, in the kits collection. In the kits collection. So find that online and check that out. There's some different kits this month. You might really be surprised, and you might find that it becomes one of the favorites for you. All right. So I will look forward to seeing you next week on Thursday Live. This was episode number 50. I can't believe I've been doing this for 50 weeks. I've been doing it over a year, but I missed a few weeks here and there. So we won't go into that. But anyway, this is episode 50. So next week, tune in for episode 51. All right, everybody. Have a good week. And I will see you next Thursday.